I decided to install Generation Zero and give that a little bash. I've had so much fun with this game in the few hours I've played. I'm going to be returning. Even if you guys don't enjoy it on the channel, I'll sit there and whenever I get a little bit of spare time, I will be playing through more of the game because it is just that enjoyable. And I feel I barely even scratched the surface with it. Before we get any further into the video, if you're not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do sub, turn notifications on. All the support is greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to support me further as a creator, head to the description and check out the links, and let's jump into it. So, Generation Zero, I'm going to say it's an open world game. You've got your main missions, your side missions, and it's about someone trying to survive against robots. And it seems a little bit weird to take that concept into mind, but the way the game plays is a lot of fun. I heard a lot of complaints when the game first launched. People were saying the world was bare, all this sort of stuff, but they did updates, they carried on with development of the game, and right now as it stands, I feel it's in a very, very good spot. Not only that, as I mentioned right at the start, the game's available on Game Pass, so if you own Game Pass on Xbox, you can download it completely free. So you start off, you're going to do some missions, searching like a house and a police car and all that sort of stuff. Grab yourself a weapon, engage in some combat, go and find yourself a safe house. In a safe house, you get a storage container. In the first one you come across, you have crafting benches and things like that. The storage containers in this game are fantastic because the stuff you put in any of the storage containers carries over to any others you find as you're progressing through the game. Not only that, but the developers have been incredibly lenient with the weight of the things you carry. So if I remember correctly, because I'm doing this commentary after actually playing the game, my weight limit or like max capacity was 64. And I must have had 5 or 6 weapons, a load of ammo, different types of ammo. I had gas canisters, radios, boom boxes, all these different items on me. And I was nowhere near being over encumbered. So I could still run around, still pick up more items. I don't even think I've reached half of my max capacity. And all you do is you keep the stuff on you, find a safe house, you can offload it, you can store all of your crafting resources in a different, like a workbench type piece of equipment, if you want to call it that. And what you do is you progress through main missions and side missions, you take down robots. They can be very dangerous if you're not careful. You need to find a lot of like first aid kits in this game. I did go down once, but there are also adrenaline shots, which is, it puts you in a down state. You can use an adrenaline shot and essentially self-revive. And it was my own fault, the reason I went down. I kind of shot the explosive canister on the top of, I think it's called a runner, which is essentially just like a dog sort of robot. And the explosive tank on the top exploded, and that kind of carried on to an explosive fuel tank nearby, and blew me up. I went instantly into the down state. But you have a lot of different exploration in this game. You have a lot of different resources you can use, like a lot of materials you can find. There's also a push bike. I absolutely hate this push bike. It's just so slow. The dog robots are fairly accurate when they're shooting at you. If you can get yourself a rifle, and I found 4 or 5 different rifles, so they're quite common, especially at the start of the game. If you can shoot their guns, you can actually remove the guns off the robot. You can destroy the guns, so they can't shoot at you anymore. But then they do this like jump attack, and I feel it acts as though it's like a little EMP because it stuns you. But you go through, you're exploring, you're riding your bike around, you're engaging in combat. And I was speaking to Sean every now and then whilst I was playing, and he said, as you progress further, because I was playing for a good 2 or 3 hours, and I didn't even make it off like the starting island, and this map is pretty big. But he said, as you get further into the game, it becomes more strategic. You can't just jump into every single fight you want to get involved in. Sometimes you might be low on like meds, sometimes you might not have a lot of ammo, and it's not just dogs that you take on. You get some like big, gigantic robots that you have to fight. But the main missions themselves are quite good. They take you through different areas of the map. The side missions can be quite rewarding. In each of the little areas you go to that have safe houses and stuff, you might have collectibles or weapons that you might need to find. And it's just one of those survival games. I don't know, there's just something about it that makes it really good. It's different from all the other ones you're going to play. But not only that, as well as the inventory with your amazing capacity, with all the safe houses and the enemy types and things like that, you've also got different skills you can unlock where you can increase your health, you can unlock like lockpicking, you can learn how to lockpick sort of thing. And I feel there's a lot of depth to it. If I was to compare it to any games, I would say maybe a mix of Fallout and DayZ or something like that. You have the weird enemy types and the big sort of map and story like Fallout, and then you have the open world and the survival aspect of DayZ. So overall, if you've never played Generation Zero, I would recommend jumping on it and giving the game a go. As I said, I'll be playing more of it, even if it is just something to do in my spare time. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll bring it back to the channel at some point. It's a really, really fun game, so if you haven't played it, I recommend picking it up. I was talking to people on the channel about it a little while ago. I say a little while ago, probably about a year, maybe a year and a half ago. And they were suggesting for me to play it. But at the time, it weren't available on Game Pass. I'm quite a tight person when it comes to games. If you are interested, it's available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. I'm just going to check prices outside of Game Pass. So on Steam, it's £21.50. So it'll be about, I'd like to say $30, $25. And it released back in March 2019. On PlayStation, and I'm going to guess it'll be the same price on Xbox. See, that's absolutely gutting. PlayStation Store, as I'm recording this, it's on sale for £11.24, so about $15, but you guys won't see this video for a few days, and the offer ends one day after I've recorded this. But it says you can save 10% with PS Plus, and its original price is £25 on PlayStation. Let me just double check Xbox, just to make sure it's the same price. Yeah, so it's £25 on Xbox as well. But yeah, if you do have the ability to play the game, I strongly recommend it. Very, very interesting game that can get intense fairly easy, especially when you go into an area towards the start of the game and there are 4 or 5 robot runners around and they're all tracking you at the same time, all shooting at you. You don't have a lot of ammo, you're just running a pistol, you don't have a lot of meds on you. It gets very, very intense. But what we're going to do is wrap the video up there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.